Okay, good morning 50 years. Thank you for those who handed in their work on Friday. We're going to continue with functions this week, okay? And the first thing we're going to do is review the homework. So I'm going to do a few of the questions for homework slowly, and pause the video if you get stuck, go back over your work. I'm having issues with corrections coming up on the screen, so all I've done is just looked through your work and returned it to you, okay? And I'm going to correct them via this method of video link. Okay, so question 11 is the first one I'm going to do. We get a function g of x. Remember, it doesn't matter about the notation, this is the important part, 1 minus 4x, okay? And if I get given anything inside the bracket, I sub that in 4x. So this becomes 1 minus 4, k plus 1 goes inside the bracket. Then we simplify it, okay? Minus 4k minus 4, 1 minus 4k minus 4, simplify further. Remember, this negative belongs to that number, okay, so 1 take away 4 is minus 3 minus 4k. That's how we leave it. Can't simplify that any further. Then we're asked to solve this. Well, we've just worked out the g of k plus 1 is this, isn't it? So I can leave that. The left hand side now becomes minus 4k. G of minus 3, okay, so all we do here is put the minus 3 in for the x, so that's equal to 1 minus 4 times minus 3. Let's simplify the right hand side, leave the left hand side as it is. Minus 4 times minus 3 is 12, so this becomes 13. Add 3 to both sides. You get minus 4k is equal to 16. Divide by minus 4. You get k is equal to 16 divided by minus 4 is minus 4. Positive divided by negative. Okay? And that's our solution. So we subbed in, we worked this out in the first part. We just subbed minus 3 in for there, put them equal to each other, and it's a linear equation, and we've got to solve the linear equation. That's where you're going to find the functions, loads of overlap with stuff we've already done, linear and quadratic equations, etc. Okay, let's go on to question 15. Here we're given two functions. The important part of f, function f is 2x plus 1. The important part of function g is x squared, right? That's what we're focusing on. We're not worried about this notation. That means the same thing in each question. So the first one, hopefully at this stage, is straightforward for you. F of 4 is, we sub the 4 in for x, 2 times 4 plus 1, which is 9. G of minus 3 is just minus 3 squared, which is also 9. Okay, so we're just subbing the numbers in for the x. Now, this is the composite functions which we touched on in my video last week, okay? F of g of 2. So the first thing we do is work out what g of 2 is and then put that into x. We work from right to left, okay? So, g of 2 is equal to 2 squared, which is 4. So this is 4. So this becomes f of 4, which is 2 times 4 plus 1, which is 9. Okay. Work from right to left here. We've worked out f of 4 is 9 in the first part. So this is 9. So this is the same as g of 9, which is equal to 9 squared, which is 81. Okay, so composite functions, we work from right to left, work out the right hand side first, and then sub the answer you get into the first function. Right, let's look at question 19 then, right? So again, we get two functions. We've got composite functions again, so same as the previous question I went through, right? We need to work out what g of 3 is first. Well, g of 3 is going to be 3 squared minus 1, 9 minus 1, which is 8. So that's 8. So this is the same as f of 8, which is, put 8 in for x there. 1 minus 3 equal to 1 minus 24, which is minus 23. Okay, slightly different twist on this question. So we've given a composite function f of g of x is equal to 8. So if we go back up to here, it said f of g of 3. So we just worked out this part, what g of 3 was, and subbed it in, but we don't know value here. So let's look at the left hand side first, okay? Ignore the minus 8 if you want for now. This is f of g of x. Well, g of x is x squared minus 1. So this part is x squared minus 1. So this is the same as f of x squared minus 1. We'll leave the equals 8 minus 8 there, right? F of x squared minus 1, we put the x squared minus 1 in for the x here. So that's 1 minus 3 to the x squared minus 1. Leave the minus 8 there. Multiply out the brackets. 1 minus 3x squared plus 3 is equal to minus 8. Let's go up here. Let's look at the left hand side. Again, this minus belongs to that one. So it's 1 and 3. So 4 minus 3x squared equals to minus 8. Take away 4 from both sides. Minus 3x squared is equal to minus 12. Divide by minus 3. X squared is equal to 3. Minus and minus is positive. So x squared is 4, which means x is 2 or minus 2. Don't forget the minus 2 times minus 2 gives me 4 as well, okay? Quadratic equation, we get 2 answers. Okay, so let's look at 21 now. They do get more difficult as usual as you go through them. So you've got to find k basically. And the only thing we're told this time is f of 3 is 5. So this is our clue. So we know when x is 3, the answer is 5. Okay. So let's look at this. This is the important part. We know this is what this notation tells us. When we input 3, the output is 5. Go back to the start of the chapter. When x is 3, the output is 5. Right. So let's go. Let's just put that in. K over 3 squared plus 1 is equal to 5. Okay, really important we make that link, right? Put 3 in for x, get 5 out. Then we're just solving the equation, aren't we? Take away 1 from both sides, you get k over 3 squared is equal to 4. 3 squared is 9, isn't it? Multiply 9 both sides, you get k is equal to 4 times 9, it's 36, isn't it? That's our answer. Okay, this is important. No, it's important now we start to recognize this link. Okay, so with the input, output, when we look at graphs, x value, y value. Okay, so let's look at this one then. Again, notation is a bit more difficult, but it's the same principle, right? So show this left hand side is equal to the right hand side. So when we get questions like this, I have said this before, let's just work out the left hand side and then let's work out the right hand side, and hopefully they're equal. Then we've answered the question. So f of x plus f of y. So left hand side. F of x is given to us, so f of x plus f of y. That's given to us, isn't it? So f of x is 3x plus 2. F of x is 3x plus 2. F of y is, we just put the y in for the x, 3y plus 2. So let's simplify that. 3x plus 3y, we can't combine them. 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay, that's what I end up with for the left hand side. Let's look at the right hand side. It's this one, of f of x plus, so inside, so f of x plus y plus 2. Okay, so here we've got x plus y inside the bracket, so we're going to put all of this in for x there. Okay, wait there, let me, yeah. So we're going to put all that, so that's going to be 3 times x plus y plus 2 plus this other 2, because it's this, f of x is plus 2, then you've got the other 2 here, right? So plus 2, so 3x plus 3y plus 2 plus 2, Same thing, right? So we've shown that. That's plus 4 in the end, isn't it? So it's shown that. Let me just check the other part of the question. Okay, so, did I write that down? No, I didn't write that down. So let me just write down the last part of 22. F of x is 2x squared. G of x, 3x minus 1. F of g of x, g of f of x. Okay, so f of g of x, g of f of x. Focus please, camera. Come on, camera. Behave. Okay. Right, so this is just composite functions again now. We're not given a number inside of here. So g of x is 3x plus 1. So we're going to put that into x there. So that's going to be 2 times 3x minus 1 all squared. Okay? Start at the right hand side, put it in. So that's 2 times. Now 3x minus 1 all squared, guys. Don't do this in a hurry. Take your time. That's 3x minus 1 times 3x minus 1, isn't it? That's minus 1, very untidy up there, sorry. So 9x squared minus 3x plus 1. That gives me minus 6x. Okay? So it's 2 times 9x squared minus 6x plus 1, which is 18x squared. 2 times 9x squared. 2 times 2 times. Minus 12x plus 2. That's the first one. Second one is g of f of x. So f of x is 2x squared. So we're going to put the 2x squared in for the x there now. So that's going to be 3 times 2x squared minus 1, which is 2x squared. We do the brackets first. Oh, the bracket's already done, yeah, sorry. 3 times 2 is 6x squared minus 1, and that's it. And then we have, for what value of x is f of g of x equal to g of f of x. Okay, so let's go back. We've just worked these two out, haven't we? F of g of x is this. So let's sub them in. So the right-hand side, left-hand side is that. The right-hand side is this. So now we have a quadratic equation. Right? So this is the notation. This is the rule we had from that notation. Go to the rules. All right. First rule when we're solving quadratic equations is make them one side equal 0. So let's take away minus 6x squared and add 1. Okay. This side then becomes 0, doesn't it? So I get 12x squared minus 12x plus 3 equals 0. So let's solve this equation. Now all these are divisible by 3, divisible by 3, aren't they? So if I divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3, I get 4x squared minus 4x plus 1 equals 0. Just makes it a bit easier for me to solve. Then I go into my method. 4 times 1 is 4. What do I multiply to get 4? That adds to give minus 4. It's minus 2 and minus 2, isn't it? So 4x squared minus 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. Factorize in parts. This should be second nature to us now. If you don't know how to solve quadratics, you need to revise whilst we're off now, okay? Nothing common for the second part there, so just put 1 outside. 2x minus 1 and 2x minus 1. So you get the same thing inside. So if 2x minus 1 is equal to 0, add 1, 2x equal to 1, divide by 2, x equals to half. And you actually get the same answer twice here, so that's the only answer you get for this equation. Okay, so pause this video and go through them if you weren't sure. I know looking through your solutions there, a few of you got stuck particularly towards the end there, right? A lot of this is just notation, making sure you know how to read what it's asking you to do, and then we're falling back to linear or quadratic equations. Okay.